Today, I'm 3D printing an end table. If it's good, it's gonna sit here in the kitchen and it's gonna replace this table. If it's great, it'll sit out here in the garage with all my other favorite things. And just for fun, we're gonna let my wife, Amy, decide if it's good or if it's great. Okay, here's the game plan. I wanna make it about the same height as the other table that we have in the kitchen right now. And I wanna put a shelf on it, right? So it'll have a shelf partway up. It'll give it some stability too. I want to make it fully 3D printed. No glue, no wood. The whole thing will be made out of my favorite filament, PETG. And finally, I want to make it functional. I want this table to be kind of a Lego table, something that I can use it for something now, tear it down and use it for something different later. So to do that, I'm going to use threadboard. A lot of you guys know I love printing with threadboard. It's basically threaded pieces of plastic that has a system of screws that match those threads and put them together and build bigger pieces. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make a table out of threadboard. Here's the game plan for the table. So first we're gonna have tabletop. They're gonna be a 9 by 9. We're gonna design some legs here, and the legs are gonna be 2 by 9. And then at the top and bottom of each is gonna be a 2 by 2. And then finally, we're gonna do this piece in the middle. I'll draw this in blue. They're gonna be doublers. A doubler here, doubler there, and a doubler there, and then one more doubler over here. And each of these are gonna be held in using different screws. They're gonna be kind of a combination of 1 by 4 and 4 by 4. And then finally we'll duplicate this whole thing underneath. So that'll be kind of the top shelf. And that is what it's gonna look like. All right, now let's design the leg. My plan is to take 2 of these 2 by 9 threaded boards and join them together like an L shape. And on each end, I'll put a 2 by 2 non-threaded board. I'll use this 2 by 2 plate and the screws to mate these legs to the tabletop. All right, so as the printer got going, I realized I was gonna run out of this PETG. You can see here, I ran out of this gray PETG that looks really nice. And when I went online to order some more, it was out of stock. So I ended up just using black PETG for the second half of this build. As I was putting the table together, you can see that it went together beautifully. The easiest way to build this table is to place the tabletops face down and then add these doublers across the edges, right, and in the center. And once that's nice and solid, you can add the legs in. As you can see here, those legs went in really nicely, and there's half of the table. So you can see this is half the table. Looks really good. There's a little bit of give when you look at it here and there, but you can tell it's a really nice. It really lines up with the idea we had in the beginning. Okay, now as I started building the second half of this table, I realized there's more to this table than just that first design, right? We can take these legs and put them in a little bit of a different configuration and make almost like a little bookshelf, a little narrow bookshelf. This is what the bookshelf style looks like. It's very small. It's a very small table. It's really light. But it's solid. It's solid enough to hold some books on the wall, or kind of put up in a corner somewhere, and it looks really nice. I'm pretty impressed. I think that's going to be one of the fun things about this project is I'll be able to change things as I go. Put it all back together. You can see we'll put the black. Let's build up the black here, and it's done. Okay, now that the table's done, I want to see what Amy's reaction is. We're gonna put it in the kitchen, and let's see how she responds. Surprise, what do you think?
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's perfect. And it's so sturdy. It's a perfect height. I love it.
Okay, do you think it's good or do you think it's great?
It is fantastic.
Good or great?
Great.
Okay.
So the funny part of the video is if you say it's good, it gets to stay here. If you say it's great, it gets to go in the garage. With all the rest of my favorite stuff. Since you said it was great, let's go in the garage.
I mean, it's pretty impressive that it's so sturdy. It holds all those books.
But it's very mechanical
Looking.
It's not meant for, it doesn't look pretty. It doesn't have any pretty lines or curves or, I mean, I could have put like fillets. If I was gonna do this again, I'd put like fillets on it or angle the legs differently. But it really looks like a Tinker Toy table, you know? This table is really sweet and super functional. I love the way it turned out. I have to agree with Amy. It's not the prettiest table. It could really use some curves and some angles to add character. I think that's one of the things I would have done differently is add some different radius, some fillets on the corners, and make it much more kind of aesthetically pleasing. I can add to this table later, and I can take away from it. I can make it taller or wider, or you know, even if it doesn't turn out to be a good table, I can take all those pieces and use them for something else with the threadboard. So that's what I love the most about this whole project. It is super ultra functional. It's also really light. The thing I used 2 1 kilogram spools of PETG, so it probably weighs about 2 kilograms. So it's really light. Now on the other end, the other edge of that spectrum is that light. So there's something about a heavy item that makes it feel more durable, and that makes it more durable on its own. So it is light. That's a good thing. Also, it's a bad thing. It might not be as strong as, you know, as a normal table that's in the room next door. What I'll probably do with this table is I'll use it to store filament. There's already a few things I want to add to it. I want to put a little place to store a remote control for our TV in here. You know, it'll definitely get a lot of use. All right, since this table wins the functionality award, it gets to sit in the garage with all my other favorite toys. That's it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you haven't, like and subscribe, and we'll make some more videos like this in the future. Thanks.